everybody, I'm Jared. Welcome to another video. I just want to share kind of like a personal story, personal philosophy that I've developed over the past couple of months, I think it's been a process of ever since I moved in with my girlfriend and out from my parents. I got to live with my parents till I was 20. I moved out literally at 20 and a half. I think I actually moved out on my YouTube channel's birthday, my main YouTube channel. And I have this philosophy, I've been kind of like almost taken aback at how hard it is to live just as an American, how hard it is to live. I mean, just recently I posted a video that it where I live, it takes 3 people on minimum wage to live in a studio apartment, right? That's fucking ridiculous. I have gained so much respect for the people that have to deal with this economy. It started out as millennials and Gen Zs, right? Because as a millennial, I'm like a millennial Gen Z. I was born 98. As a person that has been around lots of boomers, I really just, it's easy for me to blame boomers, obviously. Then I worked at an old people home and realized that those boomers and there's some of them that are even part of the lost generation people. Those people are literally just like us. Like, the only difference between those people and the lives that they led was that the economy was better, so they had more time to live through it. So they, instead of working fucking 80 hours a week, they worked like 30 and had a little farm and did their thing every week. They had hobbies and friends. But if that person was born and had to work in today's economy, they would be just like the rest of us. They wouldn't be this like ultra rich, like I inherited all this land, I got a small loan of $1 million type shit. They were just normal people. And I have a lot more respect now for everyone that has to deal with this shit economy. Even middle class people, because middle class people too still have to deal with all the bullshit that we have to do. It's just that instead of having to be afraid of paying for food or housing or cars, they have that financial safety net, but they still have to deal with the trash job economy. They still, most likely, someone is working 40 to 60 hours a week, busting ass. And if they lose that job, since obviously, that job is most likely specialized, there's a chance that they can't even get that job, and then they're back to square one. Really, I think as I grow more respect for people that just have to deal with this shit economy, right? Because I think a lot of us, when we were growing up through school, we always had, the American dream. And if you don't know what the American dream is, maybe from, a different country, the American dream is this thing that comes from like the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, basically think of like the Oregon Trail times up to the 80s and 90s. The American dream is, I'm gonna, have a piece of land. I'm going to either be working a job I really enjoy or start a business on something I'm passionate about. And I'm going to be able to sustain a family, right? And it's all, by myself. I think that this throughout history has just been applied to guys because only recently, the women got all the rights and all that, all that politics. But I think it applied, in the 80s and 90s to both men and women. Is I'm going to have freedom. I'm a free bird. I'm gonna build my business, and if it fails, it's my fault, and if it succeeds, it's my fault because I'm an American. I got freedom, And what's really happened is that dream is just being marketed to us and isn't a reality in the current situation. Where I live, houses, I talked to my uncle, and he said that the first house he bought in 1980 was worth $59,000. And that house is now worth $400,000 to $500,000, right? So that's an 8 to 10x increase in housing prices from 1980, right? And then if you watch and you do some digging about wage stagnation, wages haven't gone up at all. You know, you could read stories on Reddit. There's this guy I found a video named Alpha Investments where, you know, he's only 40 years old. You know, he's not 60. But in those 20 years that he worked he worked as a server, you know, and he said the server wage has literally not changed since he was a kid. Since he was a kid, a server maybe gets, you know, $50 to $100 in tips a night. And the only difference is now over half their money goes to paying the other people and gas versus him. He didn't have to share his tips with anyone and they were also fine because they were all making a livable wage. And, you know, gas was like $1 a gallon. So, and then you got to go to Taco Bell, you spend $3 and got your dinner, you know, and you still have $80 left over. And that just keeps getting marketed to us. And it's like, dude, that's not even possible. Like, I feel like as a working class American, the people that are actually in charge just look at me as like, not even a pawn. I feel like I'm just like a population number in a city, you know, in like a civilization game, or just this random ass worker in Age of Empires. And they're just like, all right, I have clicked this worker on the wood source and this worker will work until they die. They might get killed by a fucking raider. They might get taken by a Mongolian raider. They might, my city might get nuked, but I don't care because I have the resources to just replace them. You know, and I feel like that's how a lot of us working class people are viewed. And sometimes we are really heavily fed media that like we need to be grateful for jobs. You know, if we work hard, we're just not working hard enough. You know, and it's like, dude, if you have a passion, I saw a post on this actually on anti-work when I was stoned. I still remember it. Someone was like, what happened to hobbies, right? And I realized I fall into this trap. Every single hobby I think of, I'm like, I can't spend time on that because it doesn't make money. You know, it's like, I am so worried about, will I be able to even have a shot at not financial freedom, right? Financial freedom, I feel like, is not even a feasible thing. It's like luck. Not even being upper class, but just having like a safety net, a financial safety net. Like, that's a goal that's like, that's my hard work goal. It's not, I own the house, I have the family, I have the good job. Like, my goal of an American dream is I got 6 months of savings. So if I, you know, lose a job, get out of work, what have you, then, well, I can, you know, I'm not going to go under. And don't even get me started. Like, dude, I don't even know if you told me right now, you're like, Jared, right now, you have to come up with a plan for raising a kid because you're going to have a kid in 9 months. Like, if you literally just told me that, you know, you are now you have that 9-month timer and then, you know, we're going to have a kid. Like, how am I going to pay for that? I could not literally raise a kid. And I mean, right now, I'm kind of, I think I would like kids, but I'm of the mindset, like, do I really want to have a kid in this world that we live in right now? Like, do I really want to bring another human into a world where just surviving is the only way to survive? It's just, it feels like pure luck if you even get a shot at doing something more than just surviving. It just, like, I couldn't do that. I would feel guilty. I would feel guilty about bringing a kid into this world where you don't have anything. I mean, with the way that inflation's going and where I see prices going, I don't even think I would be able to like have any savings, you know, to raise the kid with. If I had a kid, I would have to work 2 40-hour-a-week jobs, or actually, no, they'd give me part-time so they don't have to give me health insurance. So 3 part-time jobs a week just to raise a kid. That's all I got, you know. I just have a lot of respect for, like, I think I have more respect for the people that have to work now than I think if you go back in history up to the Great Depression and like World War II. If you go post World War II, so post 1945 all the way to here, I think people that have to work deserve way more respect than the working people, the working ideologies of, you know, 1946, the boomer generation, the Gen X generation. You know, I think our generation's working people deserve a lot more respect for the shit that we have to put up with on a daily basis, hourly basis, right? I mean, nowadays it feels like hourly basis because your boss will text you and you're just like trying to relax at dinner and like, dude, I gotta like, nah. So anyways, that's my rant. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you did in the comments below. And let me know your feelings, you know? I think this channel so far, I've been making these commentaries and it's kind of therapeutic for me because this is stuff that I really enjoy studying and talking about. And I want to have something to look back on and be like, you remember the shit times when we were all 20 years old and, you know, the people, the rich people, like Elon Musk had a bunch of memes, but he didn't have a hard time keeping us down, or Jeff Bezos just, I mean, we were basically, robots made it so we didn't die on the Amazon lines. You know, we were really just there till they invented robots that could pack boxes, and now we go die on the street because the jobs are gone. Like, I'm gonna look back at this time and be like, dude, this fucking sucked and I made it through. That's pretty impressive. So, yeah. I'm Sid the Casual Gamer. I'm also Jared. And I'll see y'all in the next one.